my brother, Emeritus Chief Justice and Chairperson of the Task Force on Police Service and Prison Service Reforms, Honorable Retired Justice David Maraga, my sister, the Chairperson of the CRA, Commission on Revenue Allocation, Jane Kiringai, the Honorable Commissioners present who have been sworn, the Honorable members of the Task Force on Police Service and Prisons Reform, very, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I take this opportunity to welcome you most warmly to the judiciary and my sincere apology for our humble situation you have found us in. This facility is really not suitable for this kind of function, but you will bear with us. We are improving by the day. We want to build the Supreme Court, a state-of-the-art Supreme Court with an amphitheater. And my apologies to the Honorable Member of Parliament for keeping you standing throughout the function. But when you go to Parliament, you will speak to them and tell them judiciary needs funds to expand our facility here so that we don't keep a member of Parliament standing for 2 hours to witness a solemn occasion when a dear brother is being sworn into office. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming, all of you, and for bearing with us. Allow me to start by congratulating, first of all, the commissioners of the Commission on the Revenue Allocation on your appointment and swearing in as commissioners of the Commission on Revenue Allocation. I always say when I do this that in your hands lies the protection and realization of one of the most transformative features of our 2010 Constitution to ensure that there is equitable allocation of resources to our devolved government, which is at the center of the promise of the transformation of our nation. It is easy for us to appreciate that the work of the Commission on Revenue Allocation is critical for the success of the project of devolved governance. The Commission on Revenue Allocation is therefore intended to be a major facilitator of the realization of our dream of a fair and just state and society, which is really embodied in the 2010 Constitution. Just like your chairperson has advised you, I would urge you to always bear in mind the history of our nation, which is marginalization of some areas in this country that have often contributed to dissatisfaction by some of our compatriots with our national building efforts and thus posing a challenge to national unity and state stability. You must remove that tag of marginalization. All of us in Kenya are equal and require fair and just allocation of revenue so that we can all realize our potential. You must also strive to work towards making this society truly just and fair. Allow me also to congratulate most sincerely my brother, the chairperson, and all the members of the Task Force on the Terms and Conditions of Service for the National Police Service and the Kenya Prison Service on your appointment and swearing in. This appointment, as the chairperson has said, comes at an opportune time, given that the work of the task force will serve to catalyze effective service delivery by these two institutions that are most critical and crucial for the enforcement and security within our country. Indeed, our criminal justice sector cannot function effectively when our men and women in the police service and prison service are not motivated and enabled with a conducive environment that will enable them to discharge their mandate. I therefore urge you, honorable members of the task force, to work towards the realization of our constitutional dream of a democratic policing and a prison service that pursues the constitutional goal of reformation and rehabilitation of our offenders. The offenders are also Kenyans. This is the Kenyan dream for a police service and prison service that serves the people and upholds utmost professionalism. Lastly, the oath of office, which you, especially the commissioners of CLA and members of the task force, have taken today, will guide you in your day-to-day work. According to that oath, you must never depart from the law, and indeed that's what you have sworn to. In addition, the oath equally requires you to serve this country to the best of your abilities, bearing in mind the enormous responsibility that is placed upon you. If the chair of the task force read the TORs that have been given to you, they would scare you. But I have every confidence that this task force is made up of distinguished human rights defenders, practitioners from the police service, from the prison service, members of public who are committed to ensure that we transform this society. And therefore, you'll be able to reduce those TORs into workable issues. And you will give this country a report that is going to help us move forward and be very, very proud of both our police service and our prison service, because they are there for us to nurture them, to promote their well-being, and for them to be able to discharge their duties with efficiency and with decorum. Also, for the CLA, the duty on your hands is also enormous, but you are equal to the task. You have been carefully selected professionals who are going to work together as a team and ensure that we are proud of the taxes that we pay, because they will be allocated to touch the marginalized, the poor, and to ensure that there is equitable distribution of resources in this country where everybody can be able to realize their full potential. I therefore take this opportunity to wish you all the best and even assure you of the support of the Office of the Chief Justice and the Judiciary in case we are needed in the discharge of your work, especially for the Task Force on Police and Prisons Reforms. We, as the National Council on the Administration of Justice, are very, very excited about this task force, because some of the recommendations we have been making will find favor with you. And I'm very, very happy to recognize that some members of the NCAJ are also members of this distinguished task force. I wish you all the best in the delivery of your respective mandates. Thank you, and God bless you and guide you and shine this light upon you. Thank you very much.